Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, and the Other. And like I've said before, the main format of my show is about preserving history. And a lot of times I discuss obscure aspects of history, and this is going to be another one of them. I'm going to be discussing a group of sisters that performed during the 1925 to 1936 called the Boswell Sisters. And I had never heard of them, and I probably still would not have if I hadn't been in a grocery store and heard some of the music that plays. This particular chain seems to, or at least this particular store seems to mix the genres of music around. They'll be playing some World War II music, and then they'll be playing songs like "Don't Bring Me Down, Bruce" or "The Night Chicago Died." I guess it's to accommodate the various demographics that people that shop in the store. And this is about three sisters. I heard a song in the store, Bell Bottom Trousers, and it was sung by Connie Boswell. And I thought at first it was the Andrews Sisters, so I did a little research to find out where this song came from. And here's a picture of the three Boswell sisters, Helvetia, Connie, and Martha, from I think 1930, I believe it's a 1931 publicity photo. And I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of audio from that song that I heard in the grocery store.
Once there was a little girl who lived next door to me, and she loved the sailor boy. He was only 3. Now he's on a battleship in his sailor suit, just a great big sailor man, but he's just as cute. Bare bottom trousers, coat of navy blue. She loved the sailor boy, and he loved her too.
A little background information on the Boswell sisters. They grew up in New Orleans, and there were 3 of them. Martha, born 1905, died 1958. Connie, 1907 to 1976, and Helvetia, 1911 to 1988. They were active as a singing group from 1925 to 1936. They started out performing classic repertoire. They had a brother named Clyde who was part of the leading force in getting him into the music industry, and he later on got away from their type of music and studied jazz. He unfortunately died at age 18 from complications of influenza. I guess at that time that disease was a lot more deadly than, not to say it can't be now, but it was probably a lot more serious of an illness in those days. They became known in New Orleans in the early teens, making appearances in local theaters and on radio. By the early 1920s, they performed regularly at local vaudeville theaters. It was rumored that Connie was unable to walk and from polio as a child, and that was one version of what happened. Another was that she was in a go-kart accident. And what I was reading, it was claimed that she was in a go-kart accident just to spare her the embarrassment of being a victim of the terrible disease that existed. They recorded their first record for Victor Records in 1925. 1935, they had a #1 record, The Object of My Affection. The Andrews sisters started imitating them. I knew that listening to her, it sounded like the Andrews sisters. So actually, I guess the Andrews sisters got their idea from the Boswell sisters. It started out before the Andrews sisters. Now, I know the Andrews sisters entertained troops during World War II. In 1936, they signed with Decca and broke up 3 years later. They were inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in 1998. Connie, actually Helvetia's granddaughter, wrote a book about the Boswell Sisters called The Boswell Legacy in 2014, and that was what information I was able to get on the Boswell Sisters off of Wikipedia, and that catchy song's what got me interested in basing a show on basing this, that, and the other on them, and I thought they had an interesting career. And as always, thanks for watching.